Dr. Jason Fung, reverse diabetes with low carb, a UK clinical study shows. From Dr. Jason Fung on his own YouTube podcast, May 23, 2021.
In 2019, the American Diabetes Association published a consensus report on nutrition therapy for adults with diabetes. Reducing the overall carbohydrate intake for individuals with diabetes has the most evidence for controlling type 2 diabetes. In other words, the low carbohydrate diet is perhaps the most effective diet, according to these experts, for managing or even reversing your type 2 diabetes. One of the important things is that type 2 diabetes is actually a reversible dietary disease, and most people won't tell you that. In fact, places like DiabetesCanada say it's a chronic progressive disorder, but most people understand that if you lose weight, then almost always that type 2 diabetes gets better or even goes away. The disease of type 2 diabetes is very simple to understand. Essentially, there's simply too much sugar in your body. That is both glucose, which is found in starchy foods. Starches are actually chains of glucose, and also fructose, which is found in simple sugars like table sugar or fruit. So when your body has too much of this sugar, both glucose and fructose, and it can't store any more of it, then it's going to spill out into the blood. And when your blood glucose starts to rise, that's when your doctor makes the diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. It's simply an overflow problem. Therefore, the rational strategy, if you have too much sugar in your body, is to reduce the amount of sugar going into your body. Therefore, a low carbohydrate diet makes a lot of sense because you're switching from eating foods that contain a lot of sugars, which are glucose and sometimes fructose, to eating more foods that contain protein and fat. And while these have calories and other nutrients, they don't have a lot of glucose. And the problem is too much glucose. So that's how a low carbohydrate diet can be very effective in reducing type 2 diabetes or even reversing it. Recently, Dr. David and Jen Unwin in the United Kingdom published a very interesting study of how they use low carbohydrate diets in their practice in the UK to reverse type 2 diabetes. Since 2013, they started to offer low carbohydrate diets as an alternative to using medications. The results when they analyzed them were nothing short of stunning. Over the time that the people took this low carbohydrate diet, they lost an average of 8.3 kilograms, which is more than 18 pounds. They were able to reduce the overall medication use, and a stunning 46% of type 2 diabetics actually reversed their disease so that they were no longer considered diabetic. In pre-diabetes, the results were even better. 93% of people who use this low carbohydrate diet advice actually became non-diabetic. They were able to reverse their type 2 diabetes. They were able to reverse their pre-diabetes.
Type 2 diabetes is actually a reversible disease. Most doctors won't tell you this. For example, DiabetesCanada, the association, says it is a chronic progressive disorder. However, most people know that if you lose weight, diabetes will get better or may even go away. Type 2 diabetes is a simple disease to understand. It's simply too much sugar in the body, including glucose from starches, which are chains of glucose, and fructose, found in simple sugars like table sugar and fruit. When the body has too much sugar and it cannot store it anymore, it spills into the blood. So when this blood glucose rises, the doctor gives the diagnosis, type 2 diabetes. When the body has too much sugar, What is the rational solution? Reduce sugar going into the body. Therefore, a low-carb diet makes sense. Low-carb diet is simply switching from eating foods high in sugar, including glucose and fructose, to foods high in protein and fat. This can reduce or even reverse type 2 diabetes. In the UK clinical study, since 2013, they offered a low-carb diet instead of medications. The results? Patients lost an average of 8.3 kilograms, which is over 18 pounds. They reduced their medication use. 46% reversed their type 2 diabetes. 93% with prediabetes became non-diabetic. Annotated and summarized. Easy to share with loved ones. Please share this or other short videos from our type 2 diabetes playlist with loved ones in need. Thanks.